Good morning, Josh here, Dartmoor Reach Alpaca Farm Yoga and Glamping. So you want to build a glamping site. One of the first things you've got to decide is what sort of units you're going to provide for your guests to stay in. So to give you a little bit of helping hand, I went to the glamping show, the trade show in Coventry, to have a look at all the offerings, have a look at the prices, and then share them with you. Enjoy. Good morning. Josh here, Dartmoor Reach Alpaca Farm Yoga and Glamping. It is dark because it is 5 in the morning, and the reason that I'm getting up so early is that I'm off to the glamping show today, the glamping trade show in Stoneleigh near Coventry, and it'll be very interesting to see what's up there, see the exhibitors, see all the new things come out in the glamping industry. So we'll get on the road and I'll see you there. So here I am, Stoneleigh Park near Coventry, the Glamping Show 2024. I'm just about to go in. It all looks quite exciting. Bit of a grey morning, but I think it's going to brighten up. So let's go and take a look. So first up we had this lovely shepherd's hut from a company called Fat Hut. This was pretty cool. This came with a price tag of £55,000. Really nice finish inside. Very luxurious feel. Lovely hut. Obviously finished by a master craftsman. Very much like that one. As you can see there, 55 grand. They also had another product here, so they had two of their shepherd's huts, and that one being called the Shetland, 23,000 plus the VAT. We then had a above ground sewage holding tank, which was quite interesting. If you couldn't get planning for a septic tank, you could use this above ground solution, which you would just empty as and when. Next on, we moved to a cabin called the coal bunker, which was very cool. It was big, very high, so you definitely need planning permission for this one. This came with a price tag of £53,000. Again, beautiful finish. Now on to a yurt. Very pretty inside. The yurt was £5,000. Bit of canvas. The next curved structure was a sort of shepherd's hut, a bit more of a sort of handmade feel to it. £52,000 for this one, but it was big. It was one of them, as you can see, is very long here. One of the larger units that I'd seen on the site. Again, lovely finish inside, very homely. All the sort of mod cons in there, your ensuite, lovely kitchen area, patio to the front. Nice sort of woody finish to it. This was a cool patio heater, £500, fired on wood chip. No other power needed. As you can see, the flame just shoots up the middle there. That was very cool. Eco alternative to a gas one. Some ground screws here to sit your cabins on if you didn't want to dig foundations. Might be able to get away with a bit of planning without digging foundations. Next on the scenic tent, or scenic camp I think it was called. This yurt style tent was 10 grand. We were then on to a really lovely looking sauna, very posh sauna, £45,000. Next up was the nice little sort of Wendy house style cabin here. This came at quite a low price tag, just over £15,000. We then had some very cool outdoor barbecue ware and sort of field kitchens. Loved that field kitchen. Black Sheep, this company was, that made these shepherd's huts. You could either have them on wheels or just on the ground. And again, lovely luxurious feel inside, nice finish, beautiful woodwork. That came with a price tag of £45,000. They also did an outside bath, which is quite cool. This was an interesting pod, had a sort of astroturf finish on the roof. Lovely finish inside, very luxurious feel again. Very much a sort of master craftsman feel once again. Lovely interior decor. That came with a price tag of £45,000. But quite different with the sort of curved finish to it. I thought it was quite cool. On to Loon Valley pods. Show price of £45,000. The interior finish of this was gorgeous. This was one of my favourites, just purely down to the interior design. Had a large outside window sort of overlooking the outside patio area. That was very cool. Next up we have this sort of curved cabin here. Very nice finish inside. Slightly more basic, but as you can see with the price tag, that is reflected in the price, 25 grand. We then went on to some wood-fired hot tubs. Very cool, about 4 grand for that. Then some off-grid sort of toilets and showers. These were sort of quite a basic finish, but very nice nonetheless. I think the company was called Rework, but lots of options there for sort of off-grid outside showers and loos, composting loos. Salamander stoves, friend of mine, Mark, he makes beautiful little stoves for sort of caravans and small spaces. Very cool. Next up, from Bespoke Hideouts, this was a bit different, bit of a different shape, this shepherd's hut. This was a price tag of £28,500. That was very cool. We then had a few more outside composting loos and showers. A smaller offering here, which was a sort of converted horse box. This was one of the lowest price units that I saw. This horse box came in at 10 grand. But obviously, like I say, an awful lot smaller than a lot of the other bits and bobs there. Another very cool sauna now, sort of Swedish style sauna. Beautiful finish here. Price tag of £29,500. We then had a couple of trailer tents, which were quite interesting. Not really what we're there to look at, but interesting nonetheless. A geodesic dome. This was pretty cool. Quite like these structures. Looks interesting, different. This came with a price tag of £13,000. Nice and spacious inside. Next up was another, well, it looks like a trailer, but it wasn't actually a trailer. It didn't have wheels. This looked quite different, quite interesting. Something different there. Quite compact. Like I say, it looked like it should have been on wheels. 20 grand for that one. Onto County Pods now. This is their offering, this sort of arched pod here. This came with a price tag of £30,000. Slightly more of a basic finish inside, but that's reflected in the price. Then they did a smaller unit here, and that one was 10 grand. So yeah, a lot less money. Quite nice inside. Quite a spacious feel. Obviously comes unfurnished, but yeah, had everything you need in there. Nice toilet and shower at the back, bed in between, kitchenette to the right there. Next up was some hot tubs. Well, first of all, a sauna. This was another lovely sauna here. £15,000 for this one. But big sauna. Quite cool. Wood-fired hot tubs next. The wood-fired hot tubs, £5,000 plus the VAT. Very on trend at the moment. Next up was this sort of more of a square camping pod, glamping pod. Very cool inside. Came with a very reasonable price tag of £28,000. Beautiful finish again. This was from a guy in Devon. We then spent a bit of time in some seminars, which was very interesting, hearing lots of information in there. Little dome tent here, very reasonably priced, £2,500. Probably the cheapest unit that we saw. Huge apex house here next. I didn't actually write down the price of this. It must have sort of been so eye-watering that I couldn't bring myself to write it down, but I think it's safe to say that this was around £70,000 for this. It was a canvas finish on a sort of apex style house. Beautiful inside, but yeah, very expensive. Next up was the mirror house. This was a very cool thing. Inside it felt mega luxurious, all sort of blacked out windows, mirror windows on it. Ensuite bathroom there. £67,000 for this one. Quite expensive, but it was basically a mini house. Next up, a very, very posh tent. I was slightly taken aback when the guy told me the price tag of this tent. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely beautiful. Very hardcore aluminium frame to it. Various bedrooms coming off it and stuff. This tent was £50,000. Keeping with the tents, moving on to something more traditional. This is a traditional yurt, handcrafted, beautiful finish, really lovely finish inside. Had a main sort of living area, bedroom area, then off to the one side had a kids bunk, another bit with a shower, another bit of a toilet. The full package, including the winterized cover for it, £70,000. So a lot of money, 70 grand. We then had a bit more time in another seminar, speaking to some interested professionals. Moving on to this small glamping unit, sort of, I called it the barrel. This was £13,000. I guess sleeping 2 to 4 people. They also did a sort of small, it looked like a Wendy house, this sort of apex style glamping cabin here. This was quite reasonable as well, £23,000. Nice sort of pine finish inside, nice and airy. We then had a few stoves, looked at some mini stoves, very cool. Next up was this shepherd's hut here. Very, very lovely finish in here. There were 2 versions of this. This one is the French door version, which had a price tag of £54,000, including the VAT. But they also had another. This one was 2 shepherd's huts joined together, which made it huge inside. And the price of that one was £72,000, including the VAT. As you can see, beautiful finish inside, handcrafted, felt very luxurious. But yeah, did come with a price tag. Finally, we are coming to the end. A tractor, £8.5 for this tractor for your playground area. A couple of alpacas if you want to buy some alpacas. And that brings us to the end. That's me done at the glamping show now. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and it's been a great day here. We will catch up with you soon. So there we have it, a good rundown of lots of different offerings for glamping units. The couple of things I would say is our units here I hand built for around £8 grand. They sleep 4 people, quite spacious inside. I'm certainly not going to say they're as nice a finish as some of those shepherd's huts that you've just looked at, but the price is massively different. You've got to really think when you're starting up a business, if you're going to be spending 50 to 70 grand on each glamping unit, that's going to take you a long time to get your money back. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of canvas. I think any sort of canvas is likely to deteriorate over time, go mouldy if it's not dried properly. So I personally would always go for a more solid structure. Some of the shepherd's huts that we've just looked at were absolutely astounding and beautiful things, but they're mega money. But then some of the yurts there were really expensive as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were beautiful handcrafted things, all made by hand, but you really do need to think about the cost when you're setting up your glamp site. Anyway, I hope you found that an interesting video. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you soon.